Alicia.
I'm Jason.
Wow.
And we were really excited that you're here.
I'm excited
Super.
to be here.
It's been a long time since we've seen you.
I know.
And
Too long.
way too long.
Life is crazy.
Life
But
is
then you
so
just
crazy.
appeared in the car.
It was insane. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Jason.
Isn't that weird?
So weird.
That's what happens.
I'm here.
Yep.
Yeah, you are. How have you been?
I've been great.
Good.
Just moved into a new house. So
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that. Yes. It's very
I had a
exciting.
week without air conditioning. That was the downside. But now we're back up and running. So life is good.
Thank God. You need that in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been like 100.
It's
I was
been bad.
homicidal.
I bet.
I believe it.
I was
Oh
gonna
my
say it.
God.
Yeah.
I believe
Like, I
it.
can't.
Yeah.
Well, are we ready
Let's
to
do it.
this interview?
I'm so ready.
I'm so excited.
Oh,
I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Me too. I don't know what it's gonna be. We'll see.
All right.
What if I get emotional and cry and stuff?
Do it.
Oh my gosh.
You're an
we're
actor.
gonna- We're gonna be so intense. This is gonna be insane.
Introduce yourself.
It's like, oh, this is a thing you do.
Go!
I am Jason Lee Boyson. I am an actor, improviser, and I'm me. That's all you need to know. There's a whole,
You write too,
There's
don't
a
you?
whole backstory. Oh yeah, I write too. Yeah.
Oh,
That's-
yeah.
I've dabbled.
Oh, yes,
I've
I'm
dabbled
right
in
too.
writing. No, I love the entertainment industry, and I want to be a part of it any way I can.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, let's get started, peeps.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
Do it.
I'm in.
So, when did you know that you wanted to be an actor?
There's about two parts to that.
Okay.
First one was, one day I auditioned for a play, Streetcar Named Desire, and I got a part in it. Small role. I would guess probably about 7 to 10 lines. I'd never done a play before. And so, you know what? I want to go try this thing out for whatever reason. I can't even remember why. But once I was in the rehearsals with it and then doing the shows, I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to do this. I wasn't very good at it yet, but being on stage in front of people and hearing people be affected, affected me.
Yeah.
And I was
The
like, all
energy.
right, cool. I think I want to do that. And then, so we moved to the East Coast, like just up and did it. And we intended to go, well, me and my wife and I, she had to go because she was married to me. But I wanted to go to the East Coast, and I intended to go to New York City, never did. It's a long story. I did a bunch of theater in Delaware, and then we came back. But I got really good at theater, and really knew I loved it. But the thing that really solidified it for me was the film Good Will Hunting, which you always hear me talk about. It's the first movie that I really connected with as an actor and knew that's what I want to do. Being on stage was great. I liked entertaining, but Good Will Hunting made me go, because I was so affected by it. Every time I watch it, it's a very emotional experience for me for multiple reasons, not just because it's a great film, but because the acting is so good, the writing is so good, every part of it affected me. And the first audition I ever did for a agency was a monologue from Good Will Hunting.
That's awesome.
And I did well with it. And some of the first couple of monologues I ever did in an acting class were Good Will Hunting. Not even really realizing why I was connected to it until over time I realized this has been a part of my journey the whole way. And Good Will Hunting was it. And I knew I'm meant to do this. I'm meant to tell stories that affect people the way Good Will Hunting affects me.
Hashtag.
That was so
Good Will
beautiful.
Hunting. I know.
I got really emotional.
Hardcore. Yeah, wow. That's really cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And so that's the movie. Whenever I feel like I'm in a weird place with acting, I'm either not feeling good about where I'm at, or I had a really good experience. I always go back. I'll pop Good Will Hunting in to refocus myself.
Yeah, it's like a restart button.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's really
so
cool.
I
I'd like
kind of do
to
that with,
think of-
which is not the same type of movie, but I do that with Bill and Ted.
Hey,
It's such
Whatever
good acting in
works.
it, though. Like, it's anyway. I love it. Is there anybody in the industry that you'd want to work with, like talking about Good Will Hunting and all that stuff?
I mean, obviously, just because of the connection, I'd love to work with Matt and Ben, just so I could share the story with them and how much they've affected me.
Yeah.
And I really feel like I'm in this industry because of that film specifically, and I don't know if I would be if it wasn't for it. I'm sure
Wow.
because of who I am as a person, I'm sure something would have grabbed me, but that's
That
the
was
one I'm
it.
always connected to, and I just want to share that story with Matt and Ben.
That's awesome.
But performance-wise, through the years of getting into acting, my mother's always compared me to Leonardo DiCaprio, and so I want to do a film with him to out-act him in a film, and he's really good.
He is really good.
But I feel like we have similar look, and I think we could play brothers, so I really want to play brothers with DiCaprio.
I feel like that has to happen.
I feel like
Like when you said that,
yeah.
like I got
Yes.
goosebumps, and I was like, that's in the universe somewhere. Like I feel like your mom knows
That's
something.
cool, dude.
That's cool, yeah.
And then my dream acting partner is Denzel. Denzel hits me in everything he does. Doesn't matter if it's comedy or whatever he's doing. There's something about him that's
Yeah.
just draws me in, and I want to be a part of that.
Very
I
cool.
love that.
So, would you say that there's a roadmap that you've been following in your career?
I feel like there was. Then there was like implosion at a certain agency that kind of derailed many people's careers and made them have to make a decision on what direction they were going to go. I was fortunate enough to already have a secondary agency to become my main agency in the Landrums, and fortunately I've been able to book through them and keep going, but everything kind of got turned on its head, and I had to make new decisions on how I was going to do things and who I was going to trust,
Yeah.
and life happens, and work happens, and expenses happen, and debt happens, and so my career has not on hold right now, but I'm not actively doing 120% of what I should be doing if I want to be successful. It's something I know is still there for me, and I know to be successful, it's on me to jump back feet first and go for it, which is on the horizon for sure. Because every time, just this conversation alone, it re-inspires me to do just that. So I love what we do.
Because I really feel like you need to be in the industry.
I
Like,
know.
because I've known you for so long and I've seen your work, like, because I always knew that you always inspired a lot of people in the group that we knew. And so, like, I really feel that with who you are and your talent, that you're going to be able to do that with,
You're amazing.
like, everyone. Because you're a
I
very special human.
appreciate you saying that. This is my opportunity to be open with you guys, and you guys, there's a lot of pressure that goes with that.
Yeah.
And that's not pushed me away for a little while, but made me step back and breathe for a little while, because there is once you do have some success in this industry, you feel like you're letting people down when you stop. And so it's weird.
Got it.
But you didn't let me down. Ever.
But I like that you said that,
But I love that you said that.
because I'm sure
Because you're
there's
right.
people that
I can
feel the same
understand
way.
that.
What kind of sets have you been on, and what have been your favorite? Just to add a different question.
One of my favorites. I got to play Lee Harvey Oswald,
I saw that.
and it was a weird thing because you don't really see me, but it's me in. Hey, fireworks!
I was like, gunshots?
We are near Fiesta, Texas, and they do fireworks at around 9 o'clock. And that is what is happening right now. We are not under fire.
Anyways,
Wake up.
Continue.
In the documentary, getting to play Lee Harvey Oswald, though they blurred everything, I got to be him. It was just their way of doing it, but we filmed on location pretty much everywhere Lee Harvey Oswald was. I sat in his jail cell. I sat in the theater he was captured in. They configured the theater itself, so the actual seat was not his actual seat because everything is moved. But generally speaking, that I was in that theater where he was captured. We filmed on the street corner where he shot a police officer. I don't know how many people know the whole story, but
Wow.
after he shot Kennedy, about an hour and a half or so later, he shot a police officer that was asking him questions. And so we filmed right there on that street corner where that Officer Tippett died. And I stood on the spot where he was killed by Jack Ruby. And it was really just that whole experience. And I knew that this wasn't going to be one of those things where, hey, I can show off my acting skills. But I stopped and I thought about it. And I was like, no other actor's doing this. I got picked to do this. And it doesn't matter. It's me. And I did my research, no matter whether I was going to get to talk or not. I read Lee Harvey Oswald. It's not an autobiography, but it's like a put-together biography in his words of letters he'd written and stuff like that, kind of getting in his head. And it was a really, really cool experience.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is there any advice that you feel like everybody should know? Or
With acting, because this is for actors, right? Not just like, because I know you're a writer. and
Actors,
stuff.
writers, it's for
Everybody. It's
Well,
for
I
everybody.
I
but
think this applies to
Industry.
to anybody in the industry. Really, is this industry? There's not a lot of people that succeed to the levels that Denzel and Matt and Ben and DiCaprio and all those. The chances of making that happen are way out there. That can weigh you down if that's your goal. Is I want to be the next DiCaprio. You can't. I do this because this is what I'm meant to do. This is my passion. I'm a storyteller, and I want to affect people with my stories. My advice is, if you are in this for that reason, you can do this for the rest of your life. And if you never book that big blockbuster film, but you are in a continuous pursuit of it, you'll never not have done what you're supposed to do. I always look at it with acting. I couldn't even tell you how old some of the oldest actors are, but in sports, by about 40 you're done. So if you intended to be a sport great, you have a time frame. As an actor, I always talk about Morgan Freeman. I think didn't really make it till his 50s, and there's a lot of actors out there that just stuck with it, and it didn't matter. And
I love it.
I think that's the most important thing. Is there's no deadline for making it happen. As long as you're happy with the work you're doing and you're constantly just working on it, you're doing the right thing.
Very good, man. Very
that touched
good.
me too.
I know. Look at you.
I was
That
just
was
like,
really good.
Yeah. As far as acting advice on how to be a good actor, take a class.
Yeah.
Take
Yes.
a class with Steve Pena. Take a class with any number of other
Anybody.
actors.
try to find a class that is good.
Here's
and
my
you
other
connect
thing
to.
with acting. People, especially when you first get started, you're going to take an acting class, and you're going to love something about it. Then you're going to take another acting class that contradicts what you learned in the first acting class that you liked, and that's okay. I teach improv classes, and it's the same thing. I have my perspective on it. My way is not the right way. My way is a way.
Mm-hmm.
So every acting class you take, you will take something from. Some things are going to work for you, some things are not. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't matter. Something else will.
Mm-hmm.
Just learn what you can from it, and if you find one that you really lock into, keep taking that same coach until it's not for you anymore, and find a new one.
Very good.
It's kind of important. It's when people overthink it and go, no, this is the way you're supposed to do it. You can get stale.
Which people do that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
lot of
there
people
is
do
no
that.
one way. That's why people always ask, like, what, like, in big interviews and everything like that, like, we're asking you, like, what is your inspiration? Like, what do you do? What is your process? Everyone always asks people, what is your process? Because it's different for everybody.
Yes.
It is.
And you might find something, just like you're saying.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
Good stuff.
You're right.
I know.
You're so right.
Very good.
Jason Lee Boyson's right.
I hope I said good stuff.
You did.
Yeah, you did.
You
And
said
I'm
great stuff.
so glad
I
that you
talked
did
too
it.
long. I could talk another hour if you wanted.
No, that's great. I love
I
it.
mean, I could listen to you talk for an hour.
You just
I
have a
miss
lot of
talking
knowledge.
to you
It's
for
good.
hours.
Hours and hours.
Hours and hours.
But it is great, and that is true what you're saying about classes, because
Yeah.
some people get stuck in the same thing
Mm-hmm.
over and over and over.
Yeah.
And you're right, when it's not for you,
Yeah.
it's not for you. Well, plug your stuff. Plug your
Plug it up. Plug it.
your improv.
Oh.
Like, plug
comedy.
Here's what you're
Advertising.
talking about.
I'm with a improv troupe called Comedy Sports in San Antonio. I teach Improv 101, which is introductory improv, which is not just for actors. It is for people that just want to get out of their shell, go out and play and remember what it is to be a kid again. I'm all about playing and not growing up. Growing up is for adults. I don't want to do that, so I'm not gonna.
Awesome.
So yeah, come see me in my improv shows.
Well, thank you very much for joining us,
Thank
my
you,
friend.
Jason.
Thank you for having me.
That was
Thank you.
awesome.
I'm so excited that you came, and we hope you guys enjoyed it and you learned a thing or two.
Yes.
Ask any more questions down below, and so don't forget to like and subscribe, please.
Like and subscribe.
because then we'll
Yes,
know what
yes.
you like.
Exactly.
That's what we need. You tell us what you want, and we'll try to do it.
Try to do it.
We'll do.
But we will try.
We will try
Very
real hard.
Unless you
Real
want
hard.
Leonardo DiCaprio
Then
to be
I don't
interviewed in
know.
my car.
Here he is. This is
I'm
his
here.
brother.
That's me.
Is this his brother?
This is his brother.
I'm
Theo.
telling you, look at the Titanic case, and on the side where it has DiCaprio on one side and Kate Winslet on the other side, it looks like me. Back when I
Yeah.
was in my
I'm
30s.
gonna find it and post it.
It looks like me.
And side by side.
Mm-hmm.
Very
It's gonna
nice.
happen. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Thanks again. Have a
Thank
great
you.
weekend, everybody.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.